get all my energy from the stage to the studio and to my desk. I am the energy god, and you can be one too.
You're listening to Odeje Live, the AFROBEATS Podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new edition of Odeje Live, the official AFROBEATS Podcast. Now, this is a special edition. We're calling this a Black History Month special, where we have an interesting conversation with an important and interesting figure right here on the AFROBEATS Podcast. As always, this is brought to you by the Odeje God Odeje Drink and as well Anchored Car Sales. Just in case you're anywhere in the UK and would like to get yourself a brand new car or any type of car, just follow Anchored Car Sales on social media, send them a message, and they will give you a specialist advisor who would ensure that your dream car is a reality. And guess what? They can also get it at your doorstep anywhere in the UK without a drop of sweat. Now, joining me in the studio for the very first time to have this very important conversation is, first of all, I'd ask you, do you think you know who the first black person to play for the England team at any level is? The chances are you get it wrong, because this gentleman right here has been that person, but has just been confirmed a couple of years ago. Thank you very much and welcome, Mr. Benjamin Odeje, for coming to the studio. How did I pronounce your name right? And please, can you correct us first of all?
No, you did. You pronounced it quite right, yes.
Fantastic. Listen, it's an honor to meet you. Like I said at the beginning, this is a special edition of the AFROBEATS Podcast, celebrating Black History Month. This is very much Black history, identifying you as the first black player to have ever represented England at any level.
Yes.
Before we get to that, your surname instantly screams Africa. So what part of Africa are you originally from?
I'm a proud Nigerian.
Born?
Born in Nigeria. In fact, born in Sapele, in Nigeria.
Talk to me about your humble beginnings, because if you were born in Sapele, Nigeria, tell me a little bit about your beginnings.
Where do I start from? Parents came to England, as they did in the 60s, for a better life. And after a few years of staying in England, they decided to call for me. And I came to England to join my parents.
So you were originally born in Sapele, Nigeria, and left behind as your parents came to first of all find their feet?
Yeah.
How old were you when your parents called for you to come here?
I was 10 years old.
Any memories of Sapele growing up?
More of the village life than Sapele, because when my parents came to Nigeria, I was left in the care of my grandmother and my uncle. They were living in a village called Odeje in Isoko. Because my dad is Urobo, and my mom is from Isoko. So normally, as probably you know, parents will always leave their children behind to find a better future until they're ready for them to settle. But and I stayed with my grandmother on my mom's side in a place called Odeje in Isoko.
Wow. So so we're fast forwarding now. Your parents have come to the UK.
Yeah.
They've settled down a little bit. And then they call for you. Do you remember the moment when you came into the UK?
I remember the coldness.
What time of the month was it? Or what time of the year was it?
Actually, it was December. Yeah, the month of December. And I remember stepping out of the airport lounge. All I wanted to do was to run back in and go back home, because I thought, what's this? It was so cold in December that I really wanted to fly back to Nigeria. But of course, parents, mum and dad, are here. Grandparents are in Nigeria. Now, where do I go? I know grandmothers always spoil their children.
Yep.
Yep. So, and of course, dad and mum are here in England. Okay, let's manage it and stay with.
Did you have
with
any siblings here at the time, or was it just you that they called for?
No, it was just me that was called for.
And who brought you? Who brought you here? Did you come with a family member? Or?
No, I came with an air hostess. There was a lady assigned to me who looked after me from Lagos Airport all the way
To London.
to London.
What part of London were you now settled in?
Southeast, the good old New Cross.
Slash Peckham.
Oh, you name it. Lewisham, Peckham,
For
Brooklyn,
oh my God.
Catford,
Yeah.
you name it. So, and as a child growing up here in England, in Southeast London,
Yes.
you had to explore and do certain things. But I was lucky. I was lucky because exploring the streets of London, the streets of Southeast London in those days, I would say was very, very difficult.
What were some of the difficulties a young Benjamin faced in Southeast London in those days?
Being accepted by your peers. It's not now where all the blacks mix together. There was a divide between the West Indians and the Africans. And in those days, you can quickly recognize the African boy and the West Indian boy.
What distinguished them?
The hairstyle. The texture of our hair was different to the West Indian boys. And we were being, I would say, called names in those days. It's only recently that all the black teenagers have merged together as one. Yeah. But in those days, there was still a divide between the West Indian boys and the African boys.
What was going to school like? Now you've come from Sapele, 10 years old, strong African accent, Nigerian accent. What was your first school experience and memories?
I think my first experience, I wasn't going to talk because as soon as you open your mouth, the words, our pronunciation of certain words were quite different. And it was like a comedy show to some of the kids in the classroom because they've never heard an accent of mine before.
Yeah.
And for them, I was just an entertainment for one or two of them. Wow. Yeah. Can you talk to us? It's not as if they really wanted to listen to me.
They just wanted to hear.
They just wanted to hear the accent. They wanted to hear what my voice sounded like in those days. But after a few years, you catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you, because I'm, back in the 60s, like you said, did you recognize at the time that some of the challenges you were facing with discrimination, racism, or you don't recognize those things as a young kid?
No. In those days, as a young boy growing up, you don't recognize those things. You just put it behind you. Take it as part of living, part of life. It was only when it was pointed out to me as a teenager growing up that these things, there are certain things you shouldn't really accept. There are certain things you should question. But for me, I didn't take it as if it was discrimination.
Let's talk about football. How and when did a young Ben in South London find football?
I think we've got to go back to the village again.
Yes, please.
Yeah. My uncle, had a massive rubber plantation.
Mm.
And one thing I used to do was to help him tap rubber in those. Yep. And he would make a homemade football from the rubber liquid.
Yep.
Yeah, in those days, and that was my experience of football. He would make the rubber in such a way that once it's fermented, he would join the edges together, blow it up to a size of a ball, and where the liquid of the rubber was coming out the tree,
Yeah.
once it dries, you can actually reel out the, how would I call it, the stream. Once it's dry, you can pull it out, and if you pull out at least 100 from 100 trees,
Yes.
you can wrap it round the balloon, the balloon-like rubber
Substance,
that is there. So once it's covered the whole ball, you can use that
And
as
kick it around.
and kick it around. So it started from there, and of course, coming to England, every single surface for me it was like Wembley pitch, because there were no empty cans of of tomato that someone used before. They just thrown out. So, yeah, so the playground in the primary school was something else, and I carried on from there.
Did you ever so did you watch football as a young kid? Who were your heroes, even though you were that young?
Yes, I remember watching the 1966 World Cup final as a teenager. No, yeah, I was a teenager, sitting in the front room watching my father's black and white TV. Then we only had 3 stations, BBC, ITV, and BBC Two. And at 12 midnight, it was sign off.
Goes up.
It goes up. But I remember watching the World Cup final, and I said to myself, I like that. I don't mind doing what they're doing.
Wow.
But the thing was, there were no players that looked like me playing. Those days, the Division 1, which would be the Premier Division now.
Premier League now.
Yeah. Every single team that I watched, there were no players that looked like me. So I used to think that we were not allowed to play. But my dream, after seeing what they were doing and how the crowd were sort of celebrating when they scored or when they passed, and I thought, yes, I like that. I would like to become one of those players out there. But of course, there was that cry in the back of my head from Dad, go and read your book. And so, yes, I had in mind that one day I would like to go and do what those guys are doing.
Now, you said you came here at the age of 10. And of course, like I said, the history books tell us that you were called up to represent England at 15, is it?
Yeah.
15. So
schoolboys, yeah.
Can you tell me what happened between the ages of 10 and 15 that took you from a primary school kid kicking about in the yard in Southeast London to being recognized as one of the best players at that age in the country to play in front of 70,000 people?
I had a very, very good PE teachers at school. Starting from my primary school, a chap, I'll never forget his name, Mr. Wind was his name, a Stone West Ham supporter. Every single Friday after school, he would take a group of us players to Blackheath playing fields.
Wow.
And he would coach us, he would teach us. And primary school, we had a very, very good team. Even though we were young, we had a very, very good team. And we practiced, we played on Saturdays. And even now, I was refusing to wear boots because I was not used to wearing boots in those days. And
Just
I
to
was
kick with your feet.
I was kicked with bare feet. And I remember a particular game where the boots were so uncomfortable, I took them off and started running and trying to play bare feet. But of course, Mr. Wynn said, Ben, you can't do that. Boots back on. So, yeah, we carried on. And that went on. When I left primary school to secondary school,
What secondary school did you go to?
South East London Secondary School, it was called, in New Cross, I had 2 good PE teachers. One of them became my youth team coach at Charlton, and the other one managed Derby County and also Southend United. Ironically, both PE teachers were called Colin Murphy.
Wow.
Both of them. And it was going from one home to another home, because going to secondary school, Mr. Murphy, Colin Murphy, did all he could to make sure that he had a good team. And he left, and another Colin Murphy
Took over.
took over and did the same thing. The first Colin Murphy was appointed the youth team coach at Charlton. And I eventually joined him at Charlton as a youth player. But coming back to the question that you asked, how did I get right? Every game that you play, normally there will be either a scout, but they call it scout these days now, but there will be someone watching. Unbeknown to me, the scout was watching me for a very, very long time. And I was invited to a trial at a place called Bisham Abbey. Bisham Abbey was the only, I would say, the only recognized England training ground that they had in those days. So I was there at Bisham Abbey for a week's trial.
Wow. You stayed there?
Well, we stayed there, yes. We lodged there.
At this time, what were your parents saying? You know, you've just come into the country 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Now you're supposed to be staying away from home.
I think after leaving primary school to secondary school, of course, growing up, my parents, especially my mom, definitely said no football because according to her, devil make works for idle hands. So there's no way she's going to let her son go out there and go and play football because you never know, he might break a leg or something might happen and his career will be over. So she was quite adamant that football wasn't going to be something her son would be doing. But my dad was kind of persuaded a bit and said, look, Mr. Odeje, your son can do something. Let's see how far he will go. Pressure from mom to him. Initially, he refused, but the FA sort of persuaded him and persuaded my mom as well, which my mom didn't agree to. But of course, I was allowed to go. So, in being invited to Bisham Abbey, in fact, that was the first place I met Laurie Cunningham, because Laurie Cunningham was also invited to that camp. Yes. So we actually didn't.
For those that don't know, who's Laurie Cunningham?
Laurie Cunningham, he's a professional he's a footballer who played for Orient, West Brom, and
Leighton Orient, West Brom,
and then Real Madrid, I think.
Yep.
He was given the official title of being the first black England footballer.
Yep.
until it was revealed that it wasn't him, that it was, well, me.
Yep.
So we had the trial at Bishop Abbey, and they selected 4 teams that they thought, from the 4 teams, they would select a squad of 15 players that would represent the England schoolboys. And out of 4 teams, I didn't even feature in
Wow.
in the 4 teams. I think I was in the 5th team, and I played in the morning just to give us a game, say, look, you play, and then probably go home afterwards. And I think I must have done well.
What position did you?
Well, in those days, we call it centre forward.
Yep.
Yes. Yep. So I must have done well, because at the end of the game, one of the coaches, selectors, said to me, would I like to play another game later on? Of course. It's like saying to a child, would you like this ice cream?
Yes.
Yeah, so I said, yeah, of course. So I played in the morning. I think I must have caught their eyes. And then in the afternoon, I was asked to play again. So I went and performed in the afternoon. At the end, we all went back to our own homes. And a few weeks later, a letter dropped through the letterbox to say I've been selected to play for England. Well,
what was that like?
Well, I didn't take it seriously, because for me, football is just something...
Playing around.
Yes, I'm just playing around. And this must sound big-headed, but football is something I didn't have to work hard at. But ask me to write an essay, my friend, I don't go home. So football is something I enjoy doing, and I will go out with my friends and play all day without being tired. So when I said, look, you've been selected, I went, okay, yeah, fair enough. Let's go out and do it. And it was something that I just liked doing, and I was happy, extremely happy that I made it. Of course, I was extremely happy. And my parents decided that, especially my mom, bless her. In fact, before she passed on, my mom never saw me kick a ball.
Wow.
All she's heard was, Mrs. Odeje, your boy, the Duamo, your boy can do this. I said, leave him. Let him go and read his book. And I know this is something that used to annoy me, because if I wanted 10p to buy a pair of laces for my boots, she hasn't got it. I don't have it.
Yeah, but if you need £1 for a book.
If I wanted 10 grand for a science book or one English book, the following morning on the dinner table, it's waiting. Here, bring back the change. But yeah,
that's
so
typical.
She will find it. But in terms of sports, no.
You got the letter to call you up, and then the match was set. What day was this momentous day? And tell me how that day went on.
God, I was scared.
What day was it, first of all?
Saturday.
And what's the date?
I think it's March
1971.
1971, yes. Saturday, March.
So it was a Saturday.
It was a Saturday.
Okay. And how did it begin? And take us through that day.
Oh, how did it begin? Okay. March, that Saturday. A chauffeur-driven car was sent to my parents' home to take them to Wembley to go and watch the game. My mum said she's not going. But my dad and my little sister, by this time, my mum had another baby.
Yeah.
So my my dad and my little sister went to Wembley to go and watch the game. But my mom said, no, he's here to read his books and do what he needs to do.
Yeah.
But we as players, squad, we met on Friday, stayed over in a hotel, did what we had to do, team talk, Friday night, and then Saturday morning, travelled from the hotel and our team coach to Wembley.
Were you part of the starting 11?
Yes.
And when did you know you were going to be starting
I
the
think
match?
when the team sheet came out in the dressing room, because there were 15,
Before the match?
Yeah, before the match, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there were 15 of us in the dressing room.
Yeah.
And they said, well, the starting 11 will be this. It's on the board. So you had a look. And I had to clean my eyes several times to see whether or not it was a misprint or... So I made the starting 11. And after doing the usual stuff, getting changed from your civic clothes to the kit and stuff, and lining up under a tunnel, all you can see out there is a massive sea of heads. If someone said to me, do you want to go home? I would have said yes. I would have said yes because...
Nerves.
My knees were gone.
Did anybody at that point, you've been selected, you're in the starting lineup, was there any talk? Did anybody pull you aside to give you any extra conversation outside of the team conversation, knowing how important this day was?
No, no one did, because the usual thing is you get changed.
Yep.
You sit down.
Yep.
The whole team would do that, and the manager would do his bit by talking to you, talking to the whole team, how we're going to play, the formation, and what each individual player will be doing, but not to pull one player aside and say, look, this is what we expect, this is it, no. It was a team talk, and if he had to individually explain something, it would probably use the position.
Yep.
Yeah. To do that.
He didn't single you out based on your race or anything.
No.
Now, you're stepping onto the field. Were you aware that there was a possibility that some people might not be happy to see a black young kid playing for the England national team?
No, not at that time. It was after the game. Yes, after the game. And that really made me sad because...
Tell us what happened after the game.
After the game, we were outside sort of window shopping. And there was a shop in Oxford Street called Richard's Shop. I remember that quite well because there's usually music playing. And I stood there and I was looking at the clothes and the stuff. And I was with, was it one of my friend's sisters, because the family were around there.
Yeah.
So as I stood watching, this lady walked past and called me a name. For a split second, I thought I was hearing things, but something I can't repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought, a few hours ago, I was regarded as an Englishman or an English person because I had the three lions and I was performing on behalf of England. But now I'm in my civic clothes. I'm a
Yeah.
yeah. So
How did that make you feel? Well,
how did that make me feel? Sad in a way. And the words that I would like to use, I can't use it on air now. But I was disappointed, and that wasn't the only time. I think racism in those days, the 70s, was rife, and supporters and even the ordinary person, even on TV, they were allowed to get away with a lot, unlike now, because in those days we didn't have a body to cry to. But now, young players, they have a body that they can report incidents to, and there are governing bodies that are helping now, which is very, very good. I will support that wholeheartedly. But in those days, you had no shoulders to cry on.
did you? I know that was the first experience, which was outside of the football pitch. Did you experience any memorable negative moments like that on the pitch when you were playing?
Yeah.
And what were some of the things that you would see?
Apart from having bananas thrown at you,
Whilst you're kicking a ball.
yeah, whilst you're on the field playing, yes. And my answer used to be, I will pick it up, peel it, take a bite off of it, and throw it back. Yeah, and throw it back. And my answer to them is that if they're doing that, it means I must be hurting the team. I must be doing well, because if I wasn't,
They wouldn't pick you out.
no, they wouldn't pick me out. So for me,
It was encouragement.
encouragement, yes. So I took it as, how can I put it?
Reverse psychology.
Yes. Yeah.
You're doing well. An
I'm doing
indication
well.
that you're doing
so
well.
they're trying to put me off by doing what they're doing. So carry on doing what you're doing, Ben.
Now, from that moment, that historical moment that you donned the three lions for the English schoolboy team, you went on to, throughout your career, you went on to score, is it 400 goals?
I wasn't counting. So, not to be honest with you, there's something we do, and
It's just continuous.
yes. But
How long did you play for? How many years would you say in total, from the minute you represented the schoolboys till the minute you dropped your boots? How long was that?
Christ, from 71
Yeah,
to 80 something. So how many years is
well
that?
over 15 years.
Yeah. So
Now, one of the reasons why this conversation was important, of course, to share, to let people almost kind of rewrite history, because for a long time, the people that were identified as the first black players to have represented the England team, your name never once popped up. So, first question will be, did you know at the time this conversation was going on about who was the first black player that, no, it was wrong, it was actually me? Did you know when other names were being called? And second of all, what has the process been like in trying to get the FA to acknowledge, your history-making feat?
what I would say is that the BBC
Mm.
and the FA came to my soccer and football school that I run in Queen's
Yep.
Park, and they did a documentary there, which lasted for what, two and a
That was
half minutes?
2013.
Yeah, 2013.
Yep.
And I would have thought, because he's on YouTube,
Yep.
all they had to do was the search engine, put my surname on there, and that will come up. And I was wondering how on earth that was missed, because that should have told whoever it is
That
is
started
giving that accolade to someone else that this is it. Now, the FA and the BBC, two very, very strong organizations, which, for example, if I heard something new and I want to confirm if
You
it's
go
true
to the
or not,
BBC.
I will go to the BBC.
Yep.
And the BBC have said it, and the FA
Confirmed it.
but you're still coming out with statements like, well, now that they're using words like of African heritage.
Yep.
I don't really understand.
But
maybe-
don't you think the information in the first place came from platforms like the FA? Because nobody could have just plucked another name like Cunningham or Vivanderson or whatever. People wouldn't have come with those names if it didn't. Or do you think it was them just personally saying it?
Why don't you find out and tell me? I don't know, to be honest with you, because the BBC would not contradict themselves.
Yep, absolutely.
Because they've said it.
They invested time into that
Yep.
piece.
So your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea.
How did it make you feel when you weren't acknowledged for your history making feat?
Sorry, how did I?
How did it make you feel when you were not acknowledged?
Disappointed. Very, very much disappointed. Because even my children, when they used to primary school,
Yes.
there was an incident where one of them in their class during Black History Month, they were told to go and do a research and come and tell the class what they found, Black History Month. And of course, mine didn't have to go far.
Too far.
So put their hand up and say, I know, my dad. And the whole class went quiet for a few seconds and then started laughing. So the teacher said, okay, what is it about your dad? Oh, my dad is or was the first black footballer to play for England at any level. There goes another silence, looking at her as if to say, "Oh, you're begging it." Well, let me use their words. You're begging it. Your dad, no. And of course, for a child
That would be painful. Yeah.
And it was only after the BBC with that 2.5 minutes
Peace.
piece on YouTube now. And after saying that, she was happy to go back to school smiling again.
Proof.
Yeah.
How important is documentation, especially for us Black people? Documenting our feat and history and telling our stories ourselves. How important is that?
It's very. Because if it's not there, our children's children won't have anything to refer to. Because now, even history, a school, if it wasn't for what whoever it is that made or wrote down history, what happened, you and I wouldn't be able to carry on and do, especially when we're doing our essays.
Absolutely.
Yeah? We
Absolutely.
wouldn't have anything to refer to. So it's very, very important that it is documented so that the next generation will have something tangible to say, yeah, this is it. Even when I was at school, I didn't know that we had black scientists. It was only after I left school and started visiting youth clubs, black youth club, especially there's one I used to go to in Lewisham, called Lewisham Way, looking at the wall. I thought, hang on, all those people, they look like me. And they did important things like what they've been documented for. It was after I left school that I started learning about black history.
A very side note. Did you ever get a phone call from the Nigerian Super Eagles team to say, listen, come on, Benjamin, man, you're from Sapele. What are you doing playing for the schoolboys team in England? Why don't you come play for back home? Did anybody reach out? Oh, God.
No.
Oh, my God. No.
No, that's another story for another time, I think, because
So what have you been doing to tell your story outside of interviews like this? What else are you doing to ensure that your story is told properly and history doesn't forget people like you?
I have hit a brick wall
Mm.
because I've been trying to get people who can write,
So come and tell your story.
yeah, and tell the story. I visited a lot of organizations and showed them the BBC piece to say, look, because saying it doesn't hold weight.
Absolutely.
And
Credibility.
yeah, I've showed them the BBC piece. I said, look, and they've actually come back to me and said, look, there are other people who have actually done that, as in played for England. And they've mentioned a few, and there are some books written as well. There was one.
Names that I know are Arthur Walton, obviously Cunningham, Viv Anderson. You know, those are names that are
Cunningham.
Yes.
Sorry to cut you short. Cunningham was the, I would say, the second black footballer to play for England. He did it the under-21.
Yep.
And Viv Anderson,
Yep.
full international. So it was me,
It was Cunningham. And then the senior team was Viv Anderson.
Yeah. But the person that actually started the ball rolling is the one that you're speaking to now. It's me.
Talk that talk.
But it's been given to other people. It's sad, disappointing, and I don't know any other words that I can use to kind of describe the feeling that I get when this particular accolade is given to someone else, where the person who actually did it is still alive and kicking.
Absolutely.
It's sad, but where can I go?
I think, first of all, it's places like this where people like us at different levels can have this conversation, share this important information with the rest of the world. At the beginning, I said this was a Black History Month special. It will be used to celebrate Black history because you are that. You know, what you have done and what you represent is exactly what we're supposed to be doing, not only around the month of October, but for the entire year. My son is downstairs in the office. He's an 11-year-old kicking football around, playing. He's got his own club, and if it wasn't for someone like you, he wouldn't have You know, he wouldn't have anybody to look up to. You know, he wouldn't have anybody on screen that he could say, that's a black football player that I want to be like. So it's very important that platforms like ours tell your story and carry it to the rest of the world. But most importantly is for us to find people that would sit down with you to tell the different parts of this incredible story and incredible journey. 71 was when you stepped into the jersey. You look like 1971 was just 2 days ago, as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you very
like
much.
you could step back into the jersey right now and beat a couple players down the line, you know.
Thank you for the compliment. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Yes, sir. Do you go back home? Do you go to Nigeria regularly? What's your relationship with Nigeria like now?
I used to go to Nigeria every other year.
Okay.
I'll give you a story. I went to Nigeria on holiday.
Yes.
Well, home.
Yep.
And I visited a particular stadium.
Yes.
And luckily for me, they were about to run a particular organization.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name the
Yeah,
name.
that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
And they didn't have anybody to front it. So the person in charge asked if I would do it.
Yep.
I said yes, because I was hoping that afterwards I would be called and something would come out of it. To cut a long story short, the day of the event, there were about, I would say, 200 hopeful young footballers.
Yep.
All sort of seated in the stadium. I was given 10 coaches. So as I got to the stadium, I phoned the person that asked me to actually do the coaching. And I asked for equipment.
Yeah. Oh, God.
The man openly said to me, there are no equipment. Do what you can do.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. All my lesson plans and everything that I had, so I had to park it. Luckily for me, there was a lady coach who was an ex-Nigerian goalkeeper. He had some cones in the back of the car. So what I had planned previously, I couldn't do it because the equipments were not there.
You had to come up with a different training plan.
Yeah.
On the spot.
On the spot there.
Nigeria.
And the cones that this goalkeeper had, that's what I had to use. 10 minutes before the end of the session. Oh, by the way, there was live TV. It was going to be shown on 10 minutes before the end of the session. The person that asked me to do this thing, the coaching thing, walked in, and the reporters whisked him away to be interviewed for a job well done. And I was told that by the time I get to England, there would be a letter of employment for me to be. I'm still waiting. This was years ago. And every time I ring, either he will not answer the phone.
Yep.
Or he will, until a friend of ours came from home, Nigeria, and we actually told him
what's going on.
Story.
Yeah.
And because this guy knew the governor of that state, he then took the matter up. And then when the chap there heard about it, he was angry. And
that's
said,
why did you go and
so it's
that's the Niger way.
So that's how that particular avenue, it didn't actually open.
Open at all.
So closed.
Listen,
I was disappointed.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be
to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're hoping that one day in Nigeria, we will get it right working with the right people. Once again, thank you for sharing your story with us here. We'll be a part of this vehicle that will keep. This is a form of documentation that people can go back and refer to that proves exactly what you've done. And, become an inspiration not only to young football players, but to people like ourselves. If people like you didn't walk through that door and do what you did, people like us will not be walking through this door and doing what we're doing right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for my guest, the first black player to represent England at any level, Mr. Benjamin Odeje.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I am Benjamin Odeje, the first black footballer to play for England at any level.
The AFROBEATS Podcast.